Over 25 years ago, our next guests worked together to help bring to life the first fully digital major character in a feature film, and we can't thank them enough for it. Let's welcome Rob Coleman and Ahmed to the stage.
Love you too, love you too. Ohayo, ohayo. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Your Japanese is phenomenal.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Hai, Nihongo skoshi.
そうなんですか?
Oh, see, I come in prepared. I get prepped.
素晴らしい. Welcome back to Star Wars Celebration. How's it been for you guys?
Really good. It's been really fun. It's been like, this is our first day here, and I'm still kind of jet lagged, so I'm either really here or I'm dreaming of the best dream I could possibly imagine.
It is quite dreamy. Is it your first time in Japan?
No, the last time I was here was after Revenge of the Sith. We shot in Australia, and then I just came up here and had like 2 weeks by myself in Japan. It's been a while.
Oh, wow. And Rob, is it your first time?
No, last time was 20 years ago promoting Revenge of the Sith. Lucasfilm sent me for all 3 prequels that I was A&M supervisor on, so yeah. Love it here. Love to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we love having you. Thank you so much. So 50 years of industrial light and magic. You both have a different history with ILM, but what is it like looking back at your work during such a massive, massive anniversary?
It's absolutely huge. You know, I was 13 years old when the first Star Wars came out, 1977, then 1980, Empire, 81, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I start seeing this company, Industrial Light and Magic. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, but I wanted to know, thank you, Canadians in the house, love it. And I never thought I would get to work for the company, but through a meandering path and having the right skills at the right time, I ended up at ILM in '93, animator number 9. They had just done Jurassic Park, and I thought, you know, wow, I'm at this place where all these people had inspired me, and then here I am all those years later, and I'm the creative director for ILM in Sydney, and yeah, it's pretty amazing.
What an incredible, decorated career, truly. Ahmed, what's it like for you looking back at your time?
Yeah, the time that I got to spend with ILM was really incredibly special. They welcomed me in like one of the family. But I think the thing that was so magical about what I was doing with ILM is the fact that it had never been done before.
Yes.
And we were breaking this new ground together. And so all of the mistakes, all of the stress, all of the ideation and iteration, we really all just came together and rose to the occasion, and we were able to deliver something and make George Lucas really, really proud. So looking back on that time, it was a really, really special time where I don't really think we even knew the gravity of the time we were making. And you know, watching the documentary, I was like, wow, I was really young. Like I looked so young, and we all did. We were all so incredibly young, and trying not to get fired. So we weren't like, it was like we were so in it. But now looking back on it, it was like an amazing bit of history.
Truly. So touching back a little bit on the technology aspect of it, we were supposed to go over this a little bit later, but since you talked about it a little bit, let's just jump right into it.
Sure.
Your performance of Jar Jar was really the first ever character to be fully digitized, especially a major character.
Yeah.
And nowadays we've kind of gotten used to seeing actors with mocap technology, and we're like quite used to it. We see it often. But what was it like for you back in the day when it was truly groundbreaking new technology?
It was amazingly impactful because anytime you're at the emergence of something technological, you don't really realize it until you see it. And I remember, I think it was one of the first like tests that we did for Mocap. And I put on this like very revealing catsuit that now everybody is okay with, but at the time, nobody was okay with it, especially me. And when everything was shot and you see all the points on the screen, I remember going, oh man, those points, they're moving like me. It looks like me. Even though there was no character over it, it still was able to capture personality and nuance. And that's kind of when I knew we were in another world.
That's so fascinating. Just imagining that there is this like human movement in just these dots is so hard to like perform with and act with. So that must have been just incredible for you. Rob, what was it like for you and your animation team translating Ahmed's portrayal and performance of Jar Jar into turning him to a fully digitized character?
Well, what people may not know or remember is that Jar Jar was initially going to be Ahmed, except for the neck up, where we were going to put a digital head, a neck and head. And the reason is that George had cast Ahmed because of his physicality, the way he moved his body, his voice. But when we at ILM tried to attach the digital head to his body, and you have to remember this 1997 and the technology we had at the time, he's moving around in 3 space from the camera's position. We did have little dots on his neck, little LEDs on his costume. Proved incredibly difficult for us to track it in because the human eye can even pick up 1 pixel sliding and it never looked fully attached, or there'd be moments it was fine and then it would break. So one of the things I did was ask one of my animators to animate a full version, a digital version, because we knew we were going to have it for stunts, matching what Ahmed had done, and also had the same motion, tracked neck. And you get to see a little bit about this in the Light and Magic Season 2. And what we found out was it took less time to animate the full body. And so we pitched that to George, and he wasn't especially happy about that because he said, no, but Rob, I love your animators, but there's no way they can match him. And that's when one of our brilliant people at ILM came up to me and basically whispered in my ear and said, there's this thing called motion capture. We could put Ahmed in the suit. We can capture his body performance exactly, millimeter perfect, and then attach that motion onto our digital character, and then the animators can modify, augment if they need to, but then spend most of their time on the facial performance. So that was the evolution of what happened. We didn't go into it thinking we were going to be using motion capture, but it came out of a necessity and a demand from George to say, I don't want to lose his performance. And I'm like, I got it, no problem. Okay, how do we do this?
That is so fascinating. I especially love hearing about how there's so much trial and error, especially with groundbreaking technology like that, and you just don't know how it's going to turn out, so you just have to try, and you have to figure out all these other things, and the fact that it was the exact emerging time for mocap is just fantastic. Like, Jar Jar is the birth of mocap, and like a perfectly digitized character. Love that so much. You guys just had your Light and Magic panel. What were some of your favorite stories that you shared on it? It was so cool seeing everybody back together, the gang's back together. It was so wonderful.
Yeah, we got the band back together.
Yeah, you did.
I think it was cool just seeing everybody. Like Rob said, I haven't seen Rob in 20 years.
No.
This was
That's
the first time we've
insane.
seen each other in person in 20 years.
Yeah.
And when we do these movies, we spend so much time together.
Truly.
And we go through all of the trials and tribulations, and then we just go about our lives. And something you said in the panel that I really was impactful to me is like, you remember these things. It's filed away somewhere in your brain, and every once in a while a memory would pop up, and you would think about it, and you would, either tell the story or just kind of chuckle and be like, oh, those were the days, right? But to be able to see what it actually was like in the documentary was just incredibly heartwarming, and it just brought back all of those crazy emotions of the day. It's just wonderful.
I bet it is so vivid to have those memories unlocked in like a visual way, because it's one thing to talk and hang out and remember things together, but to visually see it, it's like you guys have a time capsule of that period. That's incredible.
That literally is what I've been saying. It feels like a time machine or a time capsule. And I was talking to John Knoll about this. We were followed around with cameras for a year and a half. And it became what we didn't see them anymore. And John was cracking me up this morning because he said there were meetings that are in the documentary that he'd forgot there was a camera crew there. And that's how it was. And there are a couple of sessions in the doco when you see me and George, I'm pitching the work to him, and he's teasing me, and I'm teasing him back at one point. And there's a camera right here, but I'm not paying attention to it. I'm so grateful that that footage exists, and now Joe's put it together and made this amazing. He's captured the moment really well, and the human story of what it's like to be behind the scenes, bringing these films to the screen.
As a fan, it really was awe-inspiring to see the behind-the-scenes footage, and I am so happy to hear that you guys love it just as much. Do you guys have anything you want to say to the fans out here that have all collected just for you?
Yeah.
They love you guys.
The first thing I'd like to say is thank you. I mean, there would be no us if it wasn't for you. And we don't just do these things in a vacuum. The people who make Star Wars movies really listen to you. We really do. And it might feel like we don't hear you or you're screaming into a void sometimes, but we make these things for that feeling. We want you all to be sitting in the dark in a room, and these movies come on, and you feel the hope, you feel the togetherness, you feel the community. And a lot of times, especially nowadays, there are so many things that are put on screens to separate us. And we have this special universe. We have these special movies. We have these characters. We have these people that bring us all together. If you look around this room, this is what the world looks like. And we're all here for one reason. We're all here because we feel so good about being a part of this galaxy far, far away.
Well said.
That was beautiful. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Ina.
We can't wait to watch Light and Magic Season 2. Don't go away because Star Wars Celebration Live is still going on.
Thank you, guys.